Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here, friends. These cards, oh my gosh. I mean, when I created them, I was just so excited. You're going to love this. So let me show you. This is the one that we're going to make. But can you see our little suspended image there? Looks like it's going to be really hard, right? Here's where you write your message. It is not hard. I have got so many tips and tricks for this card. You're going to just freak. It's just going to be amazing. Are you ready? Oh my gosh. Let's get ready to get started real quick. I'm going to bring Brenda on, and she is over on YouTube answering your questions. Christina is also here, and she's over on Facebook answering your questions. So they'll chime in as we work today. And I have to say, Brenda shared some really exciting news with us before we went live.
I did. We have a new great grandbaby as of just after midnight last night.
Yay! So sweet.
We're so excited. We're so excited. So, yep. So that was
grandbabies.
Great grandbabies. Yep. My husband started son, really young, and then his boy started young.
Yeah.
And Cole did not, but just as kind of rolled along. So. Yeah. But yeah, we're very excited. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to have those little ones.
Congratulations. I know you're excited to get pictures and
we are.
Hold them and.
Yep, it's going to be fun. It's fun to have those little ones around, but it's fun to send them home to their mamas too.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm an auntie for life. I love holding them. I love playing, and the second they get upset, they're not my problem.
Not even for me. It's not even the upset. It's like, oh my gosh, this is for young people.
Yeah,
we get tired by the time they go home. We're like, oh,
you want quiet back in your house, and
our little great granddaughter is mellow. That is the most chill kid you've ever seen. But still, she requires attention and being fed. She can't reach the counter to make her own sandwich. So it's
who has the energy for that?
Well, and little great granddaughter is going to be thrilled to have a little brother.
She's going to be excited. She's like I said, she's a real chill little kid. So I think it'll be fun for her.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Well, congratulations, Bryn, and to the new parents. So that is very exciting.
We are excited. So I'm excited about this card, and I'm excited about the new mini catalog launch.
Yes,
me too.
And the scrapbook workshop kits and
items.
I mean, I need a third job.
Yeah. You know what, Bryn? Let me tell you, you take out a second mortgage on your house. It's very simple.
Oh yeah.
That's rough when your house is paid for. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, right? I know.
Yeah, so.
Well, we're going to do, one of the cards features a bundle from the new mini catalog.
Awesome.
But let's go ahead. I think we're going to jump in because we got a lot to cover today. So let me go ahead and head over to my table. I'm going to set this one off to the side because, we're going to do that one later. This one, I got to tell you, this one, it's the easiest one. And I thought that was a great one to start with. And of course, we're going to use that fabulous designer series paper. This is the Thoughtful Journey designer series paper. And that's what's going to be the background for the card. And you know what? I'll tell you what, since I have this here, let's go ahead and cut this. It already comes 6 by 6. And I wanted to kind of show you how to cut it. I'm going to flip it upside down, because I want this to be in the center, and it needs to be a 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm putting it in upside down, and I'm going to cut this at 4. Hold on to this. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I just made a quick card with what was left over. Okay. So, it's still a great piece of designer series paper. So just make yourself a quick card. I'll add the sentiment later when I realize what I want to do with it. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this around. I need this to be a 5 1/4, and I'm going to cut off from the bottom. All right, so cut off from the bottom, 5 1/4. All right, so that's going to be the background of our card. I'm going to set this off to the side. And while I've got my paper trimmer out, I'm going to be using my scoring blade. I have a piece of lemon lolly, and I wanted to make it as easy as possible. It's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right. And you're going to do some scoring on this. We're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2 inches, 2 1/4 inches, 3 inches, and 3 3/4. If you didn't figure it out, we're just going along at every 3/4 of an inch. But what you're going to notice is there's only 1/2 inch left over. Now, I could have made it longer, but I really wanted to keep this project really, really simple for you guys. So I've got that done. I'm going to start with that short end, and we're going to accordion fold this, all right? Now, the great thing with this card and with this design, well, first of all, it easily goes into an envelope. I know some of you out there, if the card doesn't stand, you don't want to make it. Well, this card definitely stands, right? We love that. I'm going to use a die set, and we're going to go ahead and actually, you know what? We are going to do our window first before I do this one, all right? Because I got tricks. So let's start with this piece here. I have got a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock, and this is a 4 by 5 1/4. And for my window, I'm going to use deckled rectangles, okay? So let me show you which deckled rectangles you're going to need. I'm going to just count them out. Number 1, no, we want number 2, and number 4, okay? So we're skipping the first one. We're skipping the third one. All right. I hope that helps. But we want these. We want like a nice border. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to show you so many tips and tricks for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the largest rectangle on my Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to bring in my machine. Actually, let me turn it around. I can't roll it that way. All right, so I base plate 1, cutting die adapter 2, or die adapter 2, and cutting plate 3. I'm going to center that up. That is important because we're going to use this on the back. We're going to use this layer. All right, let's run this through. Oh, there we go. Don't let your machine get too far because we're going to use it again. So I now have this little frame. Save that. We're going to use it. Oh, and I should mention, I usually mention this at the beginning. Don't try to write any of this down. Look, all your measurements are here. The supplies, photos. You can come back and watch the video by clicking or scanning the QR code. And then I've got the full supply list of everything that I used on the card as well. So you guys just have fun watching. All right. Okay. I'm going to bring in a lemon lolly card base that is 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. So this is a standard A2 card. I'm going to take that lemon or that Lost Lagoon. And I got to tell you, I think for this card, I'm really going to recommend multi-purpose glue. And I want to stay really close to the edges. Okay. You can use your Stampin' Seal. But I don't know. For this one, I just thought the multi-purpose glue actually might work a little better. All right. I'm going to adhere this to the front of my card. So just center that up. And now we're going to take the next rectangle. This would be that number 4. Remember how we went 1, 2, and 3, 4? We used 2 and 4. Okay, back in with my machine. And, oops, grabbed my designer series paper there. So I'm going to center up the frame. Okay. Yes, we are cutting through 2 layers. All right. So before I start running it through, I'm going to give it one more looky-loo. Yep, I think I'm good with that. Let's run this through. Now, it's going to be a little tight, but not too tight that you can't run it through. We're going to run this through, and you might need to run it through twice. Okay, so I'm just going to come back. Again, like I said, we're going through 2 layers here. Let me take a look before I get too far. Oh, yep, everything cut out just fine. There is the base of our card. Okay. Again, we have some more die cutting to do, but oh, there it is. I was like, where's the Lost Lagoon piece? I lost it. All right. So we are done with our die cutting with the rectangles. But since we're die cutting, we're going to do something with this little leftover piece. I'm going to come in with some adhesive sheet. And this is a 2.5 by, or I'm sorry, forgive me, 2 inches by 3.5 inches. So I'm going to peel off the backing. Oh, it's stuck to me. Come on. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to flip this over. So I want this to be on the back. All right. We're going to now peel off the second bit of backing. And we're going to adhere that down. All right, friends. So for my floating suspended image, I'm going to use, and you could use any of these, but I thought I'd make a feel better. Why did I lost a die? I'm like, one of them I needed today just fell off. I'm going to do a feel better soon. So this die set is kind of it creates the word and an outline. So let's start with the outline, okay? And I can see where I've got my adhesive. I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. And friends, just since I've been doing some die cutting, I went ahead and did that for you, okay? So you can see it gives me a really great outline of the words. That adhesive sheet is on the back. Now with this one, I'm going to bring in, and this can just be a scrap, but you want it to be at least a 2 by 3.5. I'm going to use Petunia Pop as my, I guess I should say this is the outline. This is the word and this is the outline. But we're going to die cut that and we're going to have something like this. All right. So I love adhesive sheets when it comes to any detailed die. This is definitely what I would call a detailed die. And we are just going to peel that off. By the way, if you have any of the little pieces that are stuck in there, a lot of times when you go to take off the backing of the adhesive sheet, those will pop right out. So you don't even have to work real hard to get those out before you start working. And adhesive sheet is also very forgiving. Do you see how that R on better is stuck to my finger? Yeah, if I were to get that and lay it down and not quite get it where I want it, I can pick it up and move it. It's really great. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Now I can use just the Feel Better Soon, but of course I love it with that Petunia Pop outline. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side. And we're going to start to work here on our card. Let's take our designer series paper. And again, I'm just going to use my multi-purpose glue, but any adhesive is going to work here. I'm going to put this here on the inside of my card. And I'll tell you what, friends, while I'm at it, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to take that frame. Look, you notice I didn't even get it really straight, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be on the back and it's going to be covered up. And normally, if it's going to be an area that I'm going to write in, I tend to not like to cut things from the backs of my layers, but I'm going to make an exception with this one. And you'll see why when we go to put it together. So remember, this was a 4 by 5 1/4. And if I can get that straight, got a weird shadow on my lighting today. What's up with that? Okay. All right. There's where we're at with our card. I mean, it's just so pretty, right? Okay. Remember that little accordion piece. First, let me give this another crease here. So on our accordion piece, we want, you know how we have the short end here and the 3/4 inch here? We want to start with that 3/4 inch end. I'm going to put my adhesive there, and we're going to put the flat side, so not the accordion side, but the flat side. That's why I said that QR code might come in handy on the download, because you might want to come back and watch the video again when you're ready to put the card together. All right. So can you see where we are? I just lined up the bottom of that with the bottom of the card. So it's going to look something like this. Now we're going to do our floating image magic. And bear with me because it's hard to find. There it is. Okay. This is a piece of acetate. Now, if you have purchased Stampin' Up! Photopolymer stamps, you automatically get a free piece of window sheet in there. So you guys, if you've been saving them, and I have dozens of these now, you probably already have this. And so you don't even have to, we get to upcycle. This piece of window sheet is a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. All right. So use those, but you can also use just window sheet as well. All right. Let's get started. I'm going to take mini glue dots. Mini glue dots are going to be your best friend here. All right. So I'm going to press, and I got to give you a little tip here. Let me find I'm going to bring in my take your pick tool. I found that many times it's kind of hard to get the window sheet to really stick to that mini glue dot for it to come off. So I find just using my my take your pick tool. I'm going to put 2 of these right next to each other. But I found it a little bit easier to get it off the paper. Come on. There we go. All right. Oh, well, I went a little too far. The take your pick tool took it. There we go. Woo. Okay. So we've got 2 of those on there, right? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to line this up right here in the center of our card. Okay. All right. I'm going to press that down. Another little tip. Again, I've got my take your pick tool. I'm going to use just the tip here of the cap to really press that down because I don't want that to give way. Okay. My next one is going to go here on the inside of the accordion. Okay. Not on this one, not on the first one, but maybe that'll help. If you just kind of hold it together, it's going to go behind this one. Now, another tip. Because I kind of fought with the window sheet, I'm going to do this. I'm going to kind of line this up. And remember, you can kind of see it's going to go, it's just going to kind of fold. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay a mini glue dot there. Oops, that's down a little too far. We want that up at the top. Get one more. Oh, I got another great tip when it comes to mini glue dots. You can use your heat tool and kind of melt them a little bit. Oh my gosh, they'll come out super strong when you do that. All right.
Connie?
Yes.
Nancy Clark has a really good tip. She says that she marks her window sheet strips with a mini Post-it note until she's ready to use it. Otherwise, they run away from her.
What a good idea. They do run away. They're clear. Look, I even got my Post-it notes. Thank you, Nancy. What a great idea. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So you notice my mini glue dots are up here, up at the top of this. And I'm going to press that down. Okay. So I hope that you guys, oh boy, it is hard to see. Maybe I should get those Post-it notes, Nancy. There we go. Because I want you to be able to see it's kind of curved. So it's flat at the top here and it's got this nice little curve going on. But when the card is being mailed, that's going to lay flat. But when they open it, it's going to have that little bit of curve. All right. Again, this is the super easy way. So now to add our sentiment, I'm going to come back in with mini glue dots and you're going to want to go right down the center. You know what? I'm even going to use my fabulous glass mat here. Kind of give myself what my center mark's going to be. And we're just going to add as many as you want. I'm kind of trying to, oops, as I just said, use your glass mat, and then I didn't. Okay, I think I'm going to try to get at least 4. But We just don't want any of them coming out from the sentiment. So there's really not a right or wrong here, but as long as we get kind of right down there. All right. I'm going to lay my card flat. I'm going to take my sentiment. I can see right where those are, where my mini glue dots are. I'm going to center that up. Before I do anything, let's see. Yep, everything looks good. And we're going to just kind of come along and give that a good press. Okay, there's our suspended image. So we're ready to go ahead and close up our card. Now we've got that little short end. So it's not going to go all the way down to the bottom, but that's okay. We're going to put some glue here, and you're simply going to close your card. And there we go. We've got more to do, so we're not stopping there. Okay, now let's decorate and do some stamping on the back. I am trying to find my cardstock. There we go. I've got a white piece of cardstock. This is a 3 3/4 by, you know what? I think on the instructions, friends, I'm sorry, I think I said 5 1/4 by 4, but it should be 3 3/4. Sorry about that. That should be a 3 3/4 by 5. So my error. All right. So I'm going to bring in a stamp set. Thoughtful Wishes, I thought was just beautiful for this. It went along so well with the Thoughtful Journey paper, right? So I thought, why not use it? So first things I'm going to come in, I've got 2 ink pads today, Petunia Pop and Old Olive, and we're going to have a little fun. First thing I want to do is stamp my sentiment, and we'll put that about right there. I'm going to close up Petunia Pop because that's all I'm using it for. But now we're going to bring in, ready, a Petunia Pop ink pad marker, and not a Stampin' Blend. It needs to be a Stampin' Right marker and a blender pen. I've got fun tips for you. So we're going to take our Old Olive ink pad. We're going to ink up our stamp. And this is such a fun tip. We're going to take, I've got just a little scratch piece of paper here. I'm going to take my blender pen and I'm going to wipe off the ink that is there on the flowers. So you guys know, hopefully you know, what we call direct ink to stamp. And do you see how I'm just pulling this Old Olive off? By the way, I should also mention, if you have a dried up blender pen, it's awesome. This tip is awesome for that as well, because all we're doing is just wiping that away. And this blender pen I'm using, it's an old one, so it's starting to get a little dried out. But like I said, it's perfect for this technique. Just make sure we get all of those. I want to make sure, I'm just going to go over them one more time, super quick, just to make sure everything is getting off of there. Because I'm going to come in now with my Petunia Pop marker. Now you're going to want to use the brush tip, and you're going to want to use the side of your brush tip marker. Okay, we don't want to mush down that beautiful sharp tip, right? Because we use that for stuff. So you're going to want to kind of do this at the side. And I'm going to ink my flowers here. One of you fabulous stampers up there are going to tell me what kind of flower this is, because I don't know. I have no idea. They're pretty. I'm also going to run my Petunia Pop marker just to make sure if I picked up any of the Old Olive, I just want to make sure I get it off of there. All right. Fabulous tip we stampers use. We huff on the stamp. I can't show you me doing it, but you'll hear it. That's going to kind of re-moisten the ink. And we're going to stamp that here on the side. And we get that. It's so pretty. Now it's soft, all right? So when you use this technique, the color is not going to be big, bold, and bright, but it is really pretty with this one. I'm going to add my multi-purpose glue here. Now you notice this wasn't like a super fast card. I mean, it's going to take you a little bit of time, but I hope these tips that I have learned when I was creating it to make it faster and easier and smarter, I hope it's worth it. All right, so that's where you'll write your message. The last thing I want to do is I'm going to add a petunia pop bordered ribbon bow. And hey, we've been using our mini glue dots, so you'll need those anyway. I've just pressed that onto a mini glue dot. We'll add it right there. And now, look at that. It suspends, but you really can't see your little strip there. Ah, so fun, so fun. Okay, friends, I'm kind of running out of time, but I do want to show you some things I want you to know about the other card. So stick with me because we might run a little bit over. But so for our next card, this is using the Wintery Tree Tops bundle. All right. So you can see that I got my little floating birds there. They're hanging. In advance, I did some of the work. So for this one, I said we're using the bundle. So we've got the stamp set and the dies. And look at this incredible die. Well, I thought it was just perfect for this card. So you can see how we die cut that from the front of our Old Olive card base. Measurements for that, all that is the same. I wanted to show you this. So this is, instead of using designer series paper, I stamped. And so I stamped this image and I brought it down a little bit, knowing that, you know, some of that was going to get covered. So I brought it down maybe about an inch, inch and a quarter. All right. No stress on that one. So I've got that stamped. And now I want to show you how to color the birds. I have one already done for you, but I do want to teach you how to do this. So let's bring in some blends. We got lots of blends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my boho blue light. And you know what? I think I'm going to use the brush tip. I loved the two tones of these birds. And I am such a simple stamper. I don't tend to mix colors together. But we're going to mix some lemon lolly and some boho blue together. Not something I do often, but I really do love how this works and how this looks. You know, so I'm going to just kind of touch the edges here. Don't worry, it's all going to blend. I'm going to do just a little bit here. Boy, you guys are quiet today.
Hey, Connie, I have something I got to tell you. You're doing these birds?
Yeah.
So the other day I was out. You know, I have lots of birds. We feed the birds. Okay. There's this one white-headed bird kind of running around my yard, and it's with all the robins. Turns out it is a robin. I got a picture of it, looked it up, and it happens 1 in 30,000 times.
Oh.
And they're partially albino. And I could tell you the word again. It starts with an L, but I forgot it. So anyway,
wow.
I have a very rare white-headed robin in my yard, and we have had a ball watching it.
Oh, how cool. That's awesome. You know, for us, it's all about our ducks and geese. And we've had, oops, I missed a little bit of boho blue on there. Let's get just a little right there. Do you guys see how I'm just blending? By the way, this is now the dark lemon lolly. And that when you blend these together, do you see how it just kind of lightens it up? It's really cool. But it's going to give it, it looks like here, maybe I went a little bit darker, and which you could do. You could come in, you could add a little bit of dark if you wanted to, and then just come in and blend. I'm telling you, friend, oh, I am using the right one. Thought I came in with the dark by accident. Yeah, I can just kind of come back in. It really is beautiful. Okay. Then I've got some pecan pie. So that's what I hit the beak with. And rather than keep going, I am going to show you that, oops, I brought in the Old Olive. Why did I bring in Old Olive? There's no Old Olive there. I don't know why I had those. Ignore. But you can see I just colored the berries. I think, you know, they're probably supposed to be like little holly berries, but I also liked them as little blueberries. So that's how I did that part. And friends, I'm really running out of time, but if you recall, I'm going to bring in, where's my original? Bring in my original. Oh, I know one thing I have to show you. I'm not kidding when I went, where's this ribbon? I can't find this ribbon. Connie, that's because you colored it with a Stampin' blend. Because, you know, if I'm using these Stampin' blends, I might as well color with them. And, you know what? Let's use the light. This tip that I'm about to show you, this is the white diagonal ribbon. It comes as a combo. So you get the petal pink and the basic white. But I will tell you for this, you want to start your card with this so that this has a little bit of drying time. And I'm telling you, Stampin' Right markers color ribbon beautifully. All right, so you would let that dry, and then you're just going to tie it in a knot. You can see I suspended my bird in the exact same way. I added a sentiment here, did another little, one of my little kind of wreaths and sending thanks and much love. Friend like you brings me happiness. There we go. And like I said, boom, they stand up. People will know they stand up. That's going to be pretty obvious. I'm telling you, these cards are going to be a huge hit. I know I'm running late, but I want to show you the cards for next week because we don't have one card. We don't have two cards. We have 4 cards. Let me see if I can get them all in the camera there. We've got 4 cards, and they're all great masculine cards. We need those, right? 4 masculine cards. So we've got a really great seasonal. So Christmas, you're the best part of my day. So we got a fun coffee card. This one of my favorites, you're the best, plain and simple. And then a sympathy card. We need those too for the guys, right? So you can see designer series paper is the star of the show next week. But these cards, all a little bit different, but all very simple. So that's what we're going to create at next week's YouTube Live. I will be back with you then. I think I got everything in there. Guys, if you head over to simplysimplestamping.com, you'll see a place where you can download and view the new mini catalog and the scrapbooking brochure. Now, what's cool with that scrapbooking brochure, there's some other things in there. Even if you're not a scrapbooker, check it out because there are things that are in the mini catalog that tie in. It's really an awesome thing. I love that Stampin' Up! Is bringing scrapbooking a little more to the forefront, especially now that we've kind of merged with Close to My Heart. And speaking of Close to My Heart, now anyone and everyone can order those Close to My Heart products that are on the online store. There was a time it was like, no, you had to be part of Close to My Heart. It's not like that anymore. So now they have some beautiful papers as well. So be sure to check that out. Friends, thank you so much. If you liked the video, a thumbs up on YouTube is always appreciated. Thank you. And be sure to take a moment to subscribe. Guys, it's so easy. Just click the subscribe button. If you ring the bell, YouTube will let you know when I'm back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing. It doesn't cost you a dime, but I want you guys to be able to keep up with what videos are coming up next. So with that, I'm going to go have another cup of coffee. And, you know, I think I'm in the mood to go create some more tent cards because those are so fun. Have a great day, my friends. Love you. Bye-bye.